What's up YouTube? This is Justin with Patriot Supply. Today we have a real treat for you. We got to play with our FN PS90, which is modeled after the P90, which was a submachine gun developed by FN Herstal in 1990. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few steps back and I'm going to show you basically how we arrived at this, which is quite honestly the most modern of any of the firearms we've gotten to play with thus far. We start back in the 1900s. Late 1800s, we have here the Mosin Nagant. This one's got a synthetic stock on it. It fires a 7.62 by 54R. It's got a bayonet. It holds a 5-round magazine capacity with a fixed magazine in the bottom. It's got a range of approximately 400 yards. People have accurately, with this round, nailed targets at 400 yards, and we have the video to prove it. A little later, in the early 60s, with the Vietnam War, the need for a more modern rifle came about, and Colt submitted a design, the AR-15, soon came the M16. Here, in the late 60s, we developed this, which became America's modern assault rifle. Here we have a more modern version even of that. So, basically, each of these rifles on paper is capable of firing 45 rounds a minute, capable of holding 30 rounds a magazine. And in 2005, this became legally available for the civilian public without permit in Missouri, the PS90, FN PS90, with a 50-round magazine capacity, firing the 5.7 millimeter. Now, one thing I would like to point out is it's interesting, and it's extremely evident, the evolution of the firearm through the ages. Because what you have is a heavy caliber weapon with a few rounds, and then you get to a lighter caliber weapon that holds more rounds, and you eventually end up at this. The FN PS90 shooting a 5.7 by 28 millimeter round, designed, bread and butter is urban environments. This is carried by special forces units across the world. In the United States alone, there are over 200 law enforcement agencies that use this rifle. It is very compact. Its bullpup design is very comfortable. It's very easy to grip. On here, we have a red dot. It uses a radioactive isotope. It's on all the time. Excellent night visibility. What you have here is a truly designed for the modern era rifle. Built in 1990 by the Belgians to meet the UN's requirement for a round that would not penetrate walls as the 9mm did, they developed a modified 5.7mm. This round is said to be able to hit drywall and become inert. So what it was able to do is reduce collateral and reduce civilian casualties. It had varying degrees of success, but in the early 2000s, many European special forces adopted it, and it has been battle tested and proven a few hostage situations. You can Wikipedia it, you can Google it. It is a very successful weapon. One of the reasons I love it so much is it made an appearance in James Bond GoldenEye, the video game, except it was completely unrecognizable. You couldn't tell what it was. It showed up in the Hunger Games. It showed up in Call of Duty. It is so modern that it's being depicted as a rifle that shows up in the far future in media. So this is the FN PS90, chambered in 5.7 by 28. Shoots beautifully. Also, one thing that's really cool to note is the magazine is a horizontal mag that rotates the rounds. So what you have is it sits in, jams down, and then the rounds rotate. They rotate down and go out. This here is a 16-inch barrel, and it exists. It's not the original. The original barrel ended at the breech of the gun. This is so it would be civilian legal, and at least in Missouri, you do not need any special licenses. You only need to be 18, and you need to have the dough, and you need to not be a felon. And it is good to live free. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content coming soon.